this is Annette with Sun to Shine Astrology and Tarot, and today we are going to be talking about how to release through a full moon. This full moon is going to be in Aquarius, and so releasing is not Aquarius's strong suit. So I thought I would take a walk and just soak up some sun because fire is a favorite energy of Aquarius. And then go inside and have a nice relaxing bath with still my element in there, but also embracing my emotional self because unfortunately it's a common occurrence for Aquarius energy when they get overwhelmed to detach emotionally, and we want to stay emotionally engaged during this beautiful full moon in Aquarius. So today I thought I would sit down and do a little bit of a release ritual with you. I'll pull a few cards and just, embrace the energy that is being brought forth because there's some pretty intense energy out there right now. This particular full moon is going to be in a square with Uranus and Taurus, and so I really want to release anything that I consider an obstacle because whatever I consider obstacle can make me feel trapped or frustrated or, pent up or misunderstood or any of those negative emotions that go along with, embracing a really unique concept, yet nobody seems to understand it. So I brought my two favorite crystals for any kind of moon work, which is a moonstone and a smoky quartz. So I'm just going to write out some of the things that I personally want to release during this full moon. Now, this full moon, the things that you want to release are anything where you feel different or you have an indifference to, things that you feel misunderstood about, anything that is frustrating because you may have very unique and exciting ideas, yet people may not be embracing them fully right now. You may be thinking outside of the box, and traditional thinking is preferred by some people, and so you may be intimidating them. So these are a few things that I often try to release during and the word need is a very important thing, because you tend to get fixated when you have an Aquarius energy. You get fired up and you tend to fixate on things, outcomes of conversations. So we don't want to do any of those things right now. What you really want to do is let go of anything that can cause misunderstandings or can cause you to be misunderstood or can cause you to feel different. So I'm just going to be writing a few things that I know that has stood out in my life. Obviously this channel is very unique and different, and I don't tell everybody about it because it's something that I do on a very private level. So I'm just trying to embrace the side of me that is totally and completely accepting of every unique quality that I have, and that I don't want or to impose, or I don't want to push those thoughts on anybody or prove it to them through research or any of those things. So a lot of things that I like to do when we get in this type of energy is I really just want to release, unwind, and relax a little. When you get fixated like this, especially with this giant square that we're going to be having in Uranus and Taurus, it can get you all fired up, and you can get in very unexpected confrontations and unexpected conversations that don't go your way. So we don't want that energy around us right now. We want to ground our energy. We want to really just find a way to embrace ourselves. We don't need to be accepted by anybody else. because once we accept ourselves, then inevitably everybody else accepts us. So I have a very specific thing when I do these intentions. These intentions come from a place deep inside of me, a place that I'm emotionally connected to, which is why I go out of my way to do things to emotionally engage before I sit down and do my full moon rituals. Sometimes diving emotionally into yourself or diving that deep to unearth emotions can be very difficult to feel and very difficult to process. And so I want to be able to embrace fully what I'm feeling so that I can really release any anxiety, fear, dismay, negative feelings that I have. So this process is something that I really, really take my time with, and I really try to make it significant. You only get one Aquarius normally. You only get one Aquarius new moon a year. And so you have to make full moons. So you have to make each one of these full moons count. They're very important that you are utilizing fully the energy of a full moon, because a full moon is a release, a culmination, an ending. It could help you release those negative feelings about these things that you're very indifferent about, especially on an emotional level. The other thing that's really great about this type of energy is I really disconnect, especially in Aquarius season, or when I get into any kind of Aquarius energy. I really disconnect from any type of social media, multimedia devices. I turn it all off, and this day isn't about that. Surround yourself with great music that really saturates yourself with really positive emotions before you do these full moon rituals, because you really, really want to be engaged on an emotional level. And that's a difficult task sometimes for our Aquarians out there, or when we're embracing Aquarius energy. So this full moon is going to be happening on August 3rd, and it is going to be in a very intense part of the sky. So I'm going to do a little bit of smoke work. Smoke work helps me release. I'm also going to pray over my intentions this time. I pray to Spirit. You don't have to, but it's very important for me to have Spirit on my side when I see an intense square on the horizon, because intense squares are often chaotic feeling, especially if Uranus is involved. So, combined with the moon, a full moon, and then we also have this experience with Uranus. Just a very intense time. So the smoke work is going to be personally important for me. It's like a visual aid to help me see the energy being released. It works for me personally. So I'm just going to take my little wrought iron cauldron here. It's pretty safe to burn in. I want you to only burn things safely. So one moment, please. Okay. So every time I do this, I just close my eyes for right when I ignite the flame, and then I open them, and then I just sit here and I let it burn in front of me, and I watch the energy be released from the piece of paper. The flame is another intoxicating thing for me, because it shows me that I am taking action to remove this from my energy, which is very important to me. Now this one's a little too long and it's a little too unsafe to burn, and so I like to fold these away from me. You fold energy that you don't want to come to you away from you. Just be careful not to let the flame get too close to your fingers. Again, it's just such a a wonderful feeling, especially when I see the smoke and the flame dance together. I just find it so beautiful. I'm taking deep breaths at the time that I'm doing this. And in my head, I am asking Spirit to remove these obstacles and these blocks from my energy so that I don't feel threatened or intimidated or emotionally fired up in any way. I'm feeling the release. I love the art of smoke work. It's just so invigorating and beautiful. I feel it go through my fingers and the energy, and I can feel myself pushing it up and to Spirit so that Spirit can take it away from me. That one went up in flames like crazy. Okay, we've got one more here. I was loving the smoke work. So pretty. Got one more. Oh, I actually feel this energy be removed from me when I'm really caught up in the experience. And then for me, it's important for me to grab the crystals that I deem whatever necessary to help me clear and remove negative energy, and I pray. I pray that Spirit protects me through this time, this very intense moment, and that any negativity, I'm cleared of it. That's why I grabbed my clear quartz. Just going to take a moment to pray here. Just feel the smoke rise up and just be removed from me. Take deep breaths here. You're going to take a long breath in and a long breath out. And I'm going to thank Spirit for being there for me. Okay, so now that I have done that, it's time to remove the cauldron. It is now safe. There's no more burning embers. It is smoke-free. I'm going to store that safely over here. I'm going to move my crystals out of the way. This is sunstone, which is important for Aquarius work because it's ruled by fire. I also brought two different types of garnet. This one is a green garnet. That just harnesses all that masculine energy, action-oriented energy. I also have a red garnet here. I love garnets. I actually personally feel very, very empowered when I hold these in my hand. Especially the red one. I'm really drawn to the red, but I'm Leo, so maybe that's why. So I'm just going to pull a few cards. I'm just going to do a 3-card draw. I'm not going to do a very intense reading right now because I'm trying to remain in a state of thankfulness for spirits and all the work that I have done to release all this negativity. I definitely don't want too much negativity reintroduced into my psyche. Tarot is just one of those things that soothes me. This did jump out. I don't normally grab them, but it is a 2 of cups here, and I was just drawn by the hands intertwined. It made me think of the smoke work. To me, that just felt very much like Spirit had my hand and was embracing me through this process. But for some of you, a 2 of cups can also mean that this has a lot to do with a bond, a partnership, or a union, or perhaps you may attract that. Full moons are culminations, so they are endings of things. So I'm going to take just the top cards of each of these because they so clearly stood out. Just move these out of the way. Okay, so we got the Tower card. I'm not too concerned with that because this is this to me looks like a Uranian moment, a Tower moment. And I'm totally expecting that in this energy. And then we have the Eight of Wands, and again, not shocked by that. This is fire-based energy, and a lot of action is going to happen with this square that is going to be happening. I'm going to go into all of that into the astrology. This part is more about the ritual that I do to release negativity from my life, and to really embrace the moon's energy and the reason and the rituals that I do around that experience. So we did get the Five of Pentacles, and again, this is just that feeling of a change that may happen, and it may have to do with something having to do with your stability or the material realm. So if I were to just interpret this, and again, I'm going to be doing a full reading, this is just, at this moment, when a change is coming, and it's something that is going to impact me on an emotional level, on a heart-based level, and then, of course, in my material realm. And so this is not a shocking experience. Culminations happen once a month, so I'm not really shocked. I pretty much released a lot of my insecurities around the full moon, but when you guys do your reading, if tarot is not something that you do during your rituals, that's totally fine. I do, because to me, it really just signifies to me that Spirit has my back, is holding my hand through this process. I love the Two of Cups in this reading, and then the Tower moment is going to come, and change is going to happen, and I may be disappointed in the material realm, but to be honest with you, the physical realm is pretty disappointing. So I'm not too shocked or shaken by seeing yet another 5. They've been following me around for a few months, and it's just because the world's a hot mess, and so we're just trying to find our way to stay emotionally engaged and not lose it in this energy. So I'm not too concerned with this. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for joining me during this full moon ritual in Aquarius. I'm going to try to do these on new moons and full moons, quarter moons, and last quarter moons, just because I'm really attached to the lunar cycle. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to talking to you guys again real soon.